September town hall as we bid farewell to beta. We got a lot to discuss today. We have a big announcement regarding the NBA. We're going to take a look at the state of Playback and features to come, disclose the 2023/2024 Creator Fund size, and of course, answer your questions. So to kick it off, I'm going to send it to founder, CEO, RJ, to discuss the NBA season.
Hey, thanks, Sam. So like Sam said, we're not going to officially announce this for a few weeks, but we wanted to give you guys as our creators like a little bit of a sneak peek. The super exciting news is we'll be exiting beta and announcing officially our NBA League Pass partnership at the start of the upcoming NBA season. So look, we previewed this back in May. Hopefully this isn't a surprise to any of you guys, but it is worth like confirming like what this actually means. Look, when we launched Playback and we launched the beta in particular, our goal was always to get to our first official content partnership. You guys probably don't care as much about this as we do, but the reality is without a partnership, we'd be unable to monetize the product. We'd be unable to secure more funding. This gives us our future. Like this means we're just getting started. And so we're honestly like very excited and really appreciative for all of you guys from a creator and community standpoint, because in many ways it's been an accomplishment with you. So thank you again. Now that we're much closer to the date, though, we can talk a little bit more about what this actually means. So first and foremost, like how does this help you guys as a creator? There's three things to go through. First, it helps you from a monetization, growth, and new feature standpoint. So monetization, again, we previewed this back in May, but just to confirm, now that we actually have official content partnerships, we can start rolling out monetization features. So be on the lookout for things like tipping, room subscriptions, a bunch of other stuff that will be coming over the course of the NBA season that will allow you guys to monetize and interact with your creator or your communities even more directly. Second, and Sam and Brandon are going to talk about a few more of the specifics here, but we will be committing as much as $2 million to creators as part of the partner fund over the course of the upcoming season. So it's a huge step up in terms of what we can offer to you guys from a creator standpoint. And we're really excited to be able to commit that level of funding and compensation to basically to you guys to reward you guys for all you've done for us. So those are the big things from a monetization standpoint. From a growth standpoint, again, we've previewed this a little bit before, but the NBA is actually going to be promoting Playback, and even in certain circumstances, specific creators. That pairs really well with all the work we've done to like build our discovery page and launch the apps in the App Store. And we really strongly believe that like you guys as our sort of initial cohort of creators will be some of the main beneficiaries of all that new traffic and all that new basically audience that the NBA can help bring to the platform and can find their home on Playback in terms of who they actually want to watch with. The last call out is new features. We'll talk more about this over the coming months, but working with the NBA will allow us to do a lot more creative things around content. So we're looking forward to introducing things such as in-app recordings and other content opportunities as a result of this partnership. So stay tuned for more detail on that front. There are obviously, though, some challenges, obviously. I think that more than anything else is once we exit beta, we are only going to work with our official content partners. So that means we're only going to be able to show in terms of live NBA games to NBA League Pass users. This is similar to how it obviously functioned during the pilot. We realize that might be disappointing to some of your users and communities, but look, the reality is we actually like need your help on this. We intend NBA League Pass to be the first of many content platforms we work with. We're working with like literally, we're talking to like tens of different streaming services we might be able to incorporate into Playback. And there's a huge opportunity to basically for us to open up more and more content on the platform. And the best way to do that is to actually make this first content partnership with NBA League Pass a huge success. So the bigger the success it is on this front, the easier it will be to sort of unpack and add all these other content services further down the line. So with that, just to sort of summarize where we are, like we are just getting started. Like this is just the beginning of what we want to do with you guys and with our creators and our communities and all that sort of stuff. And so we're really excited about this NBA League Pass partnership and exiting beta because, it's an opportunity to take this to the next level. And long term, we strongly believe Playback can be like the platform for any fan to watch with any creator and any game they actually want to watch. And, that's a real possibility. So we're super excited. We are going to stop and do a little bit of Q&A here as Brandon's cat goes across because we figured there might be some questions on exiting beta and, the NBA League Pass stuff. So, opening up to Q&A, Sam has a few initial questions, and then we can sort of answer any from the chat.
First question for you is, when you say the NBA will promote Playback, what exactly do you mean?
Yeah, so part of our partnership with the NBA is like able to broadcast like more information about Playback to the broader NBA audience, right? Like they have more social reach than anyone in this room put together. And so part of our partnership will allow us to like publicly talk about this and allow them to promote us to like the broader NBA audience. They'll also, over the course of the season, be sort of promoting specific creators. We'll share more details on that over the coming like weeks and months, but there's going to be tons of opportunities, honestly, for our existing creators to like take advantage of all this promotion.
Awesome. That sounds really cool. When you say you want creators to help, what exactly do you mean? How do you make the NBA deal a success?
Yeah, like at a really high level, it's the things we've already been doing. Like continue to engage your community, continue to watch games with your community in a way that like brings more and more people to live NBA games. To be a little bit more specific, like I think one of the biggest opportunities is going to be around, for instance, like growing NBA League Pass users. And again, we'll talk about this in a little bit more detail once we actually like fully exit beta, but we're even going to put together a program where you as a creator or sort of a host for a room would get paid for each new NBA League Pass sub that signs up in your room. So there's a bunch of opportunities there just to sort of drive more engagement and drive more subscriptions for NBA League Pass and NBA content in general.
Awesome. That's really exciting. I actually want to take Steve's question in the chat real quick, just because I've seen it asked a few times here. Mm-hmm. Steve asks, is NBA TV affected? What about international viewers?
No, not. I mean, international viewers are still able to join. NBA League Pass users international are still able to join, and NBA TV games are still going to be able to work. They are part of the NBA League Pass package we're getting access to.
Awesome. Thanks for clarifying that. Can you give more detail on how talks with TV networks like ESPN or Fox Sports or leagues like MLB, NHL are going?
I can't give too many details because they're pretty complicated conversations, as you might imagine. But at a really high level, I think the point to emphasize over and over and over again is basically just like the more success we have with NBA as our first partner, the faster the other deals will get done. It's a FOMO business, right? Like the NBA is super excited to be partnering with us. They know the value we can bring. And the more we can show that publicly, the quicker everyone else will sort of line up behind.
Awesome. The more noise we make with the NBA, the quicker we can get ESPN games on.
Exactly.
It's exciting. Let's take to the chat. So if anyone has questions, ask it in the chat and I'll read out the best ones.
It looks like there's a question about in-market. So just to confirm, we're abiding by the geo restrictions of NBA League Pass. That said, like we are talking to in-market providers and in-market teams in particular to try to get access to some of those like RSN feeds. It operates the same way we're talking about here. The more success we have on the NBA front, the quicker we'll be able to unlock in-market access and national games. Like it's going to be a process, but it could move really quickly if we continue to show like the strength of usage that we've been showing, dating back to last season.
Mac Attack asks, how does this impact other sports leagues, etc.? If you don't mind, I'll take a little of that one. So yep. The Cliff Notes is, if you are a creator who covers a sport other than the NBA, you can always host live sessions and do other types of playback sessions in your room. We're not limiting any of that. What RJ was alluding to is until we have official partnerships with those leagues, we will no longer stream their games.
And we'll be following up with some of the other sports and other communities directly for more of a like a one-on-one conversation, so you guys get more context on how this is going to work.
KB asks, are we allowed to choose replays on League Pass? I think he means the replays, condensed games, the stuff that goes live after the games.
Yeah, that's one of the new features we'll, in theory, be able to unlock here. We'll be able to share a little bit more details as we get closer this season, but it's one of the things we're most excited about is unlocking, old content, even like the night before content for rewatches.
Exciting. Personally, I'm super excited about getting those condensed games in Playback and doing morning after sessions where you can kind of go through the whole game in 30 minutes. Could be pretty fun. Some league-specific questions here. I think we can just reiterate the same points. We'll share information when we have it.
Yeah, more details to come. And again, we'll be reaching out to a lot of creators in specific sort of leagues or sports with more detail.
Got it.
Awesome. Okay. Should we jump into the rest of the presentation? We obviously will have a lot more, a larger Q&A section at the end, and we can answer any more questions that come up over time.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Let's move forward. All right. So while we know ultimately the main use case we see on Playback is people watching NBA games, we want to reiterate, you can use your room is more than that. Playback is where sports creators go live. So obviously you can watch League Pass on Playback, but you can also watch free streams. You can pull them up via YouTube. You can screen share. We've seen people sharing videos from Twitter or various other sources and having sessions around that. You can do a live podcast with our new recording functionality. All rooms are recorded and they can be repurposed on a YouTube page or an RSS feed. You can just do community hangouts. There's many different use cases for how you can use your Playback room, and I think Kevin and Greer actually have a great example to share.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. I think particularly this summer, really opened our eyes to the different ways people are using Playback. We definitely started as let's watch games together and incorporated TV broadcasts, but had really seen people push the product. And especially this summer during the off season, people got really creative and started using it in all kinds of different ways. So I think we've kind of learned that Playback is a live streaming platform more generally. In particular, we think it's a great live streaming platform for groups because the types of live streams people are creating here are different from what people are doing on just a YouTube or a StreamYard or a Twitch, which are kind of more solo or maybe like a pair of streamers. We've really seen this new group format take off here. So we want to keep leading into that. Not just in basketball, but in other sports, as we've already seen you do. So we want to encourage you to keep doing that and encourage others to try it out. But to show you an example, I wanted to talk to Greer, who joined Playback after being a creator on our platform first through the committee. And if you haven't checked out the committee, it's amazing. They celebrate women's sports, especially basketball. And last week, I tuned into Greer's show, I believe it was Monday, and the committee did an awards show, which I think was their first ever on Playback, and got more views, more live viewers than I think you've ever had, even in the WNBA playoffs. So I thought it was a fantastic show. But Greer, I wanted to ask you a little bit about it. What was this committee awards show that you did?
Yeah, I mean, we've watched basketball together with our community for like 2 entire WNBA seasons now, an entire college basketball season. And so we wanted to celebrate all of the moments that we've like experienced with our community and all of the players who have done really cool things. And so we combined both professional and college basketball and awarded like 10 awards to different teams and coaches and programs regarding their accomplishments in women's basketball. And like with
Super
the
cool.
there, like if you know us, you know we like to have fun and poke around and make jokes and stuff too. And that was definitely also a huge component of this.
Yeah, it was really cool to see the kind of production value that you guys put into it. There were people dancing, there was music, there were recordings of athletes and coaches from, WNBA and college basketball. I thought it was a fantastic show, but wanted to ask you how you produced it. How did you and your team put this together?
Yeah, well, a lot of it starts with us watching on Playback. Is like we've watched, out of all the games that we were considering, probably half of or 60% of them we watched on Playback together. So it was easy for us to recall moments that needed to be recognized. And so we came up with nominees amongst ourselves. We started the voting maybe about a month before we actually held the show. And one of our members put together like a Google form so that our community could vote. We promoted early and often, encouraging people to vote and be a part of it, reminding them that we're going to be hosting on Playback, that they didn't need a sub to watch the award show as well. And then, we chose categories. Tyler put together the video and loaded into the YouTube player so that we could play a video with like visual reinforcement for each award. And he and Shawnee kind of came up with the rundown, came up with the script. She delivered a monologue in the beginning. So it was very reminiscent of award shows that you're used to.
I think another cool thing that you did really successfully with this show was making it kind of impact outside of just Playback. So people who weren't there for the live show still encountered either recording or different clips. So can you talk about the reactions that you got to your show after the live was over?
Yeah, just about every player who sent in a video also like retweeted it on Twitter or shared it on Instagram or whatever platform that they use. There was even a moment where one of us like imitated Missy Elliott, and like somebody put that on the timeline and she replied. So like the reach from that we got from the recordings and that we were able to clip and share, a lot of people who have never even heard of the committee got to see some of what we created on Playback.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, we'll get into the recording formats a little bit more in the product section, but yeah, Great job. I look forward to the next awards show and all the other programming coming up for the committee.
Yep, same. Like,
okay, so let's get into some product updates. I wanted to use this opportunity to just kind of share with everyone what we've been working on over the summer, what's been the focus for the product team as we gear up for coming out of beta. So really the theme has been, Playback has really been a beta app. It was in like test flight if you wanted it on iOS. It wasn't available in the Play Store for Android. There was no discovery. You had to find your creators from Twitter or somewhere else. On mobile, like the streams wouldn't always be sharp if you were in poor connection areas. There were so many hoops that you had to jump through. And this is normal for any new platform. People don't like signing up for new platforms. So the theme this summer has been to make Playback easy for any sports fan to start using. I can go to the App Store, I can just download this. It works, it's very easy to start using. So we're gonna walk through a bit of the work that the team has been doing and some of what's coming up, just to kind of show you the progress that we're hoping to make here through October when we're coming out of beta. So starting with mobile, we've talked about this plenty, but we found that once somebody installs the Playback mobile app, they join a room and they turn on notifications, they're hooked. Like, we've got that person. That person is very likely going to keep tuning into your shows. And I've seen you call it out in your rooms, notification gang, like people are in there immediately when you're live. And that's just so powerful. So since we've gotten the iOS app into the App Store, over the few months that followed, we went from 25% to 60% of our daily watchers are in the app. And that's even before getting into Android. So really, really cool to see the platform transform to be mobile first. And we hope to keep going in this direction. Next thing I wanted to call out is adaptive streaming. So because we're using a proprietary live streaming system, like we're kind of building this as a unique use case, we've also had to sort of build in some of the things that you would expect from a live streaming service. So adaptive streaming is an example. We've been rolling this out over the past month, where if you have poor connection, we'll downgrade automatically your streaming quality. If you've had anyone on mobile, maybe in the past, reporting that their stream was choppy, we're nearly 100% rolled out with our new adaptive streaming tech. So it should hopefully always be smooth for everybody, even when on the go. And then, the next thing obviously is Android. So we are now in the Play Store. If you search for us, we'll show up and you can download the Playback app. Over the last couple weeks, we've had some early beta testers giving us great feedback. We've been making updates. I think one went out today or is going out later today that should hopefully have a lot of the big fixes that we discovered. And then over the course of October, we're going to be rolling out the Android app and promoting it heavily to all of our visitors and hopefully achieve what we've done so far on iOS with Android. But yeah, we're going to keep heavily encouraging people to install the apps because we know that's essential. Okay, next, discovery. So we released search recently. This is kind of the first way that you could find another room on Playback without finding them off platform, but we're going to rebuild our entire homepage. This is in development now, and we'll be live in early October and kind of rolling out on web first and then coming to mobile soon after. But yeah, you will be able to find any room that's on Playback. We'll come up with different ways to recommend rooms. We'll definitely want to be getting your feedback on this. But yeah, this is something we've heard both from fans and from creators. Fans want to find other creators on the platform. Creators don't want to have to bring over their entire audience. They want Playback to help them reach new fans. So this is critical. Lastly, creators, I want to announce that we're opening up the platform. So it's been invite only because we really wanted to focus hands-on with our creators, give you as much attention as possible to make sure we're learning and building the most valuable platform for you. But now after the work that the team has done, we're ready to open things up. So stay tuned in a few weeks. This should be live where anyone will be able to create a room. And we'll be hoping to extend the service and attention we've given to all of our creators to everybody. Okay. So a big part of that, As you could tell, mobile is really important to us, but it is for creators too. We want you to be able to do all the things you can do as a creator on the go, be able to start streams, change the channel, schedule, go live. All that will be coming to mobile as well. Okay, and lastly is going to be monetization. So compensation is a really big part of what we do here. We want to thank every creator for being here early and taking a chance on us as a platform that is still developing. But we think we can do even better. We think our goal should be to report every day how much you're earning. And put this in the product, give you more insights into why you're earning or performing the way you are. And we also want to simplify this. I think Sam will announce more about how this will work, but every creator should be able to get paid on Playback once you sort of qualify and hit kind of a minimum threshold. And once you're verified, you should just be able to start earning right away. So stay tuned. A lot more on this front will be coming. We recognize that money is a very important part of the product, and we want to make it really core to the platform. Okay, I'll pass it back to Greer on recordings, just to talk about some of the things you can do with your recordings on Playback.
Yeah. So you may have noticed that we recently unveiled a new recording format, and there's also 3 different outputs that you can get from any session you do on Playback. And so that's the full room, which is what you're seeing right now, which is the stream and the stage. There's stage only, so it would just be the people who are appearing in that right column or the column to the right. And then also an audio only stream. So that's, you on stage with a little bit of the game audio or stream audio as well, if you have it. And basically we're making it easy for you to repurpose anything that you make on Playback and put it on any other platform that you like. So whether that be a podcast, like Sam mentioned earlier, or let's say you have a YouTube, and we also see tons of messages from people in your community asking if things are available after the fact. And so this is a good middle ground until we have that built in on our platform, and so that people can still consume the content, be a part of the experience, and be convincing people that they need to join you live the next time you're on Playback.
Awesome. Thank you, Greer. Okay, I'll pass it back to Sam, who's going to give us some updates about the Creator Fund.
Thanks, Greer. Thanks, Kevin. So more good news. We met internally and we decided we're going to officially commit $2 million to creators for the 2023-24 NBA season. As RJ mentioned, that number will likely grow depending on overall platform performance. I'll kick it over to Brandon, who will explain a few of the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, so this is something that we've definitely gotten a lot of feedback from you all on, and just want to let you know we hear your feedback, and this is sort of the first step we're taking toward acting on it. So as Kevin sort of outlined in the product section already, we're looking to add some daily estimates of your earnings, some analytics directly in the product, so you can check all of that stuff from your room directly. We're anticipating sometime late fall to be able to roll those out. So until then, to sort of try it as an MVP, I will actually, for communities that opt in, be sending daily email reports of your daily room earnings as a part of compensation. So I'm going to go ahead and drop, if someone already hasn't, the link to the Google signup form here in chat. I've also dropped it in the creator announcements section of Discord. So if you're a creator that's interested in getting those daily updates, go ahead and sign up on that form and you'll go ahead and get those. The spreadsheet didn't work earlier. My fault, guys. It should work now. I had it set to Playback domains only. So go ahead and click through and you should be able to go ahead and sign up now. So what we're looking for as far as this restructure for compensation is to stop pitting creators against each other. That's some feedback that we got, that this was sort of a zero-sum game and creators felt like they were competing against each other. Moving forward, this is going to be your compensation's totally tied to how much usage your room gets. So you don't have to feel like you're competing against other rooms. There are no more caps as far as that's concerned. And your room will be eligible to earn from the fund once you've cleared that 100 member mark. So once you've cleared 100 members, you'll be able to apply for verification. We'll go ahead and verify your community. And from there, you'll be eligible to earn from the fund. And rooms that have already crossed that threshold and earned as a part of the partner fund, we'll go ahead and grandfather you in as a verified room. So yeah, in the future, we'll also be layering things on top of this. So it won't just be related to watchers. Your compensation can be related to other metrics. Think things like watch time, first time playback users, lots of things that we're working on behind the scenes. So look for this to, again, roll out sometime late fall, but do sign up on that opt-in sheet if you want to start getting some daily notification emails.
Pretty cool. Appreciate that, Brandon. Let's open it up to questions. We answered some questions earlier. Now just general questions. KB asks, will you get to choose from the ban feature to ban from the chat and ban from the room in general? Kevin?
Yeah, good timing. I think we just announced today our updated ban feature. We know there's a lot of wackos on the platform and all over the internet, so we want to make sure that you can keep your room running the way you want it. So it will no longer just be a chat ban, it'll be a full room ban. So you'll see in your settings that you'll have a list of all the banned users. Those people will no longer be room members, so they can't request to come on stage or do anything else like that. And if you change your mind, you can go back to settings and unban them. Yeah, definitely we'll continue to invest in moderation. Just kind of means we're starting to grow up and you all are growing up as a platform.
Oh, the fun's over, guys. Now, question, will mobile be limited or will we have the same features as PC in terms of starting and sharing or creating a room, general creator functions?
Yeah, great question. Mobile is currently limited and we are planning to add all of the creator features to mobile. Not only do we want mobile to match desktop, but we think we might see what we saw with watchers where mobile becomes the dominant platform, also with creators. So we want to actually start to think of mobile first for creator features moving forward.
Will Playback be able to migrate to smart TV apps? I'm assuming he's referencing mobile or screen share.
Oh, yeah, smart TV apps 100% in the plans. I think this is something that we've all each individually wanted since day one. And I think now or soon is a very good time for it. It kind of falls smack dab in the theme of we need to be a platform that like a sports fan wants to start using, and being available on your preferred device is part of that. So yes, that's coming.
Sam B asks, so no NFL streaming, right? Our position is we are happy to partner with the NFL whenever they want to, but in the short term, we currently do not have a partnership. So.
Yeah, working with them, but yeah, it'll take a while for them, but they're certainly on our radar.
See, European soccer, we want them too. A lot of us are huge international footy fans. So yes, we want all of it.
See a couple other good questions. One I'll take on the fund. Looks like there's a question about like no more competition. Basically, instead of setting a cap on the fund size in any given month, the fund size is going to be totally dependent on how much usage we see across the platform. So you can imagine in months where we have more usage, we're paying more out to creators. So yeah, you guys aren't competing against each other for the same pool of money anymore. Hope that answers it. And then the other question I saw, go ahead.
And I was going to say, to increase transparency, that's why we're giving you guys the option to get daily emails kind of informing you of how your room's doing in your sessions until in-product analytics are available for you to be able to actually check it in real time.
The other question I saw was on WNBA League Pass. I don't know if Kevin or RJ want to take that one.
Part of our deal with the NBA will incorporate WNBA content for the upcoming season. So yeah, they're going to be part of our partners.
Also the NBA 2K League for those of you who want to watch.
Eternal asked about YouTube TV. So to start, it'll just be NBA League Pass, but we're going to be working on unlocking the other NBA partners who are available nationally through cable providers. And once we do, certainly YouTube TV and any other cable provider or streaming service where you can get those networks will be supported.
Someone asked about the Raptors. I mean, it's 30 million people that love them.
We can obviously serve NBA League Pass streams in Canada. We're still working to unlock some of like the local Canadian broadcasts for some of that stuff, but we want to serve the Canadian market too.
Are college sports or other entertainment affected post-beta? If it is a college sport which lives on a network that's behind a paywall, we will not be carrying it until we get an official partnership with whoever owns those rights. If it's free to stream, you can obviously stream it.
I see some questions about GIFs and photos and videos. We're definitely going to add all that to the chat. I think we have a GIF shortcut feature. Got to check on on that, but we'll follow up. But certainly we want to add kind of all the chat functionality that you would expect, and then allow moderators to control who can do what in their room.
Kevin, we have a question from Mac Attack. Can you speak more on monetization? You mentioned tips, etc. So I think it's a self-monetization question.
Yeah, I'd say we're not ready to start working on that yet. So we will reveal our plans as soon as we get started on it. But we definitely want you to be able to monetize directly with your room members. And we want to do it in a kind of way that's unique to Playback. So we're not just going to do the exact same thing that you've seen on other platforms. I think part of what's unique about Playback is you have a much deeper connection with the members in your room, or the people who are co-producing your show with you. So we really want to lean into the super fans, your top supporters. But we also want to, open ourselves to working with partners like the NBA and others who are also going to be fantastic at monetizing with fans. And throughout the way, we're going to make sure that our creators are rewarded for any monetization that's happening on the platform.
Couple good questions here from Tom Zayas. Do you have a landing page or a website to direct fans to help understand the new changes to League Pass accessibility? We will when we actually make those changes. This is sort of a soft announcement for our creator community, but there will be a landing page when these changes actually go live. And then there was another similar question I wanted to read, but I've lost it. Oh, RB asks, how should we be marketing the NBA partnership to our viewers' communities? Or should we just encourage them to get League Pass? I'm speaking as someone who has had a lot of in-market viewers. Yeah, that's a good question. We actually were meeting as a team earlier to put out kind of some best practices and suggestions for creators. We'll have that shared with the community probably through the Discord in the coming weeks, definitely before this goes live. And to RJ's point, you will be able to share in some of the revenue that comes through getting League Pass subs. So when we get closer to the season, you're definitely going to want to market your community on signing up for Playback signing up for League Pass directly through your Playback room. Again, we'll provide more information on this over the next coming weeks. These changes aren't going live for another 4 weeks, 3.5. Yeah, something in that span. October 24th, the start of the regular season. Let's see. Any other questions? Did I miss?
I would say I saw quite a few more product related questions in chat. If you guys want to jump in the Discord and actually drop those under suggestions, we can answer those after the session.
And just remember, you're always welcome to do that. We love getting feedback, whether it's a suggestion or you're just kind of curious how something works or isn't working for you.
I thought there was an interesting question about whether mods would get paid. I think what's interesting about that is it points to how these rooms are run by groups. It's not a single creator, even though you might have a face of your brand. There are a lot of people who work on this. So the way we think about our creator fund is ideally we will plan to send funds to the room and then give tools for the room to share their funds however they want to. And if you want to give 10% to one of your mods or 30% to your co-host or whatever you want to do, that's on you. At the end of the day, we're going to be here to reward the room for driving engagement.
And this all goes back to why the NBA deal is pertinent. We couldn't even set up room wallets without having a content partnership deal with the NBA. So all that's coming down the pipeline. Any other questions?
I have one last question. Kaisa, how can you prove to us definitively that you are in fact not AI?
Do we have a...
Tell us we're 2001 or something like that.
Playback test?
Hold up today's paper or something.
No, I don't think I can prove it. I might be AI. Coming soon to Playback. Add your own AIs to the room. Stephen AI Smith, can I get a...
And yeah, I see a few more moderation related questions. We'll definitely be following up on that. Again, check Kevin's announcement in Discord. We did just recently release some moderation related tools, but just so you all know, internally, we've put in place some processes for us to, basically take action when transgressions are reported. So
All right.
Aaron has a question about what information will be displayed in the email. Is it decided yet?
I think Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to put in estimated earnings in the email. Is that right?
Correct. So estimated daily earnings for your room, you'll get the following day.
You'll also still have access to your Amplitude dashboard, and that'll work until one day it's a drop-down option in your room.
And those will start October 1. So October 2nd, you'll get your first email.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Really appreciate it. Excited.
Very exciting. Appreciate everyone who came.
Thanks.
Game on loop. Check you guys later.
All right, see
Farewell.
you guys.
Get Farewell up and running.